Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel Pretty in Paper by B, where we are all about sharing the joy of pretty papers. Now today I'm going to be walking you through two things. Not only am I going to be teaching you how to make an iris folding heart, I'm going to be showing you my very own Starburst effect, so we can make a card just like this one. So as you can see, we've got paper strips on both sides of this card. So this is going to be the two techniques that I'm showing you today. So I've put a list of everything you need in the box down below. So grab your supplies, get comfy, and let's get crafting.
Now the first thing that we're going to do today is cut out our circular card bases. And to do this you'll need a compass and a ruler. Now I've got two pieces of card out for our circular card base today, and I'm going to use the blue one as our base for our iris folding, so that's the one that I'll need first. So I'm going to place it out in front of me here, ready to draw our circle on. Now to do this you are going to need your ruler. Now your ruler is used to set the size of your circle. Now this is going back to school maths lessons. You want to set your compass to half the width of the circle, or the diameter if we're using the technical word. So I'm going to set my compass to about 7 centimetres for this one. Place in the middle of the card and draw around to get a nice even circle. And once we've got this pencil line in place, like so, we need to cut out our circle. So grab a pair of scissors and get cutting. Once you've got your blue circle cut out, you will need to grab your iris folding pattern. So the heart iris folding pattern is included in the PDF in the box below. So now you need to cut out the heart around the edge of the solid black line. Once you've done this, place your heart pattern in the middle of your circle and draw around it with a pencil. Now I'm a bit lazy, so I'm not going to take my pencil out of my compass for this bit, just because I know I'm going to need it later. So trace the edge of the heart, just so you've got a pencil line ready to follow when cutting out your heart shape. And there you have it, a heart outline. Now this is what we're going to follow to cut out the heart silhouette. So you'll need your craft knife and your cutting mat. Place your cutting mat on the table to protect the surface, and your piece of card over the top. Open up your craft knife and get ready for cutting. Make sure to keep your hand behind the blade, and off you go. And there you have it, your heart ready for iris folding. Now you're going to need 2 more circles ready to make our card base. So grab your other piece of A4 card and place on the table out in front of you. You'll need your ruler and your compass again. And set your compass to slightly bigger than what you made your blue heart shape. So I've done this to about 7.4 centimetres. Now if you position your compass on the paper so that the pencil is towards the edge of the card, that will make sure that you can fit 2 circles on your piece of card. So we can draw 2 circular outlines, and this will be what we use as our card base. And we'll mount our iris folding to this once we've finished folding. So once you've got the outlines for your 2 circles, you'll need to grab your pair of scissors again and cut them out. Nice and simple. And now you have 2 circles ready for your card base, and we'll use these later. Now you need your heart silhouette out in front of you, and we're going to have a go at our starburst effect. So I've chosen 6 different pastel colours out, and I'm going to cut these into thin paper strips that we'll use to create the starburst look. So I'm going to use a pair of scissors, or you can use a guillotine. It's completely up to you. So this mini guillotine is one of my favourite craft tools, and it's super handy for cutting paper strips, as I'm sure some of you have seen me use it before. So I'm just going to cut a series of different sized thin paper strips in my rainbow colours. Once I've got all my rainbow strips ready, I'm going to think about placing them across the heart to create the starburst look. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put this along the edges of the paper strips. Now you won't need any glue in the middle because obviously we've got a silhouette shape there. And you'll just need a little bit to go approximately where the card's going to be, but don't worry about any excess because we'll sort this out later. And you want to place your coloured strips across the heart like so. The exact placement is completely up to you guys. It's just the more random the better in my eyes actually. I quite like a little bit of unevenness in this design. So keep going with your glue and your paper strips. Once all your strips are in place, you're going to carefully pick up your heart. Now it's looking quite a bit of a mess at this point, I realise, so we're going to wipe up the glue from the table so we don't leave any marks on our cards that are unintentional. So I'm just going to give this a bit of a clean before we carry on. There we go. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of your card and having ruined it because you've accidentally glued something to the surface, so it's good to keep this clean. So pick up your heart, and the next step is we're going to cut off all the excess strips around the edge of the circle. I personally find this bit quite satisfying. Once you've done this, it starting to look quite exciting now. Now we just need to cut out the middle bit of the heart. So you're going to use a pair of snippers, but you can use normal scissors. I just like my mini snippers for this bit, to cut out the excess paper strips from the centre. And there you have it, your heart starburst effect, ready for the iris folding. It's looking pretty cool at this point, isn't it, guys? So I'm just going to clear up this excess paper strips and glue from the table. So like I said before, we don't want any glue ruining our design. So it's a good habit to keep clearing your surface as you go. So once you've got all this out of the way, you'll need to grab your heart iris folding pattern. So this is what we're going to use to follow as we place our paper strips. You'll need a little bit of blue tack to stick this to the surface, and it just holds it in place as we're placing our paper strips. So I'm going to stick this to my table. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of blue tack caught on my nail. And then I'm going to use a little bit more blue tack to stick my heart silhouette over my pattern. Now you want to make sure that the paper strips you've placed already are face down on the table, because we will be working from the back of our heart. Oh, I can't pick this bit of blue tack up either. So we're going to stick our silhouette over the top of the pattern so we can see the numbers and the lines through the middle, like so. Now once this is in place, you want to grab your 3 pretty papers that you've chosen. I'm going to cut them into paper strips about 2 centimetres wide, so a little bit wider for this one. Once you cut your paper strips up, you'll need your pattern guide. Now this will tell you exactly where you place which paper strips and in what order. Now I like to place my chosen pretty papers around the heart based on where each paper is going to go. So as it looks here, I'm going to put my hammered paper as paper A, my pearlised paper as paper B, and my patterned paper as paper C. Now once we've decided which paper is which, you want to grab the first of your paper strips and fold over an edge of about 0.5 to 0.7 millimetres. It doesn't have to be a particularly thick fold, it just gives us that nice clean edge for our iris folding. You want to look at the number 1 on your pattern and cut a strip long enough to cover this section, and sellotape each end of your paper strip in place, just like so. Once you've got your first strip in place, you're then going to continue following around your heart and using your pattern guide to place your paper strips. So now that our last paper strip is in place, we just need to cover the hole in the centre of the iris folding. Now I've chosen this sparkly silver card for this bit. I always love using glitter card for my centre, and I'm going to stick it in place face down with a couple of bits of tape. Perfect. Now we can turn over our iris folding, and as you see, this is my favourite bit because you get to see all your beautiful hard work in place. Okay, so now time to think about the card base. So I'm just going to clear the table so make sure we've got the space to make our circle card. So you'll need the 2 circles we cut out at the start, and you're going to line them up on top of each other like so. And we're just going to cut a short flat edge, and this is to make sure that your card will stand up. Because greetings cards, we like to have them on display, so it's good to have a flat edge. Now we need to score a line in 1/2 of our circles, and this is to create the fold. So I'm going to use my Easy Score scoreboard. I'm going to place my ruler along the edge so that it is perpendicular to the scoreboard. And I'm just going to line my circle up so that there is a small part of the circle overlapping one of these creases, and score a line down the edge, just like so. When you've got a little crease in place, we can get rid of the scoreboard and the ruler, we don't need those anymore. And I'm just going to fold over the edge that we've scored. Make sure that it's nice and flat. I like to use my scorer for this bit as it just makes that crease and that fold nice and straight. So once we've got our fold in place, you want to line your circles up again. You can use the flat edge at the bottom that we cut at the start. Place them on top of each other, and you're going to glue that fold that we just made down onto the other half of the circle. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue, just like so. And once we've got that glue in place, I'm going to press the fold down and hold in place. Now this might need a little bit of time to dry, so now's a good point to just take 5 minutes, have a cup of tea, and once the glue is dried, we can carry on. Perfect. So now that our glue has dried, we have a circular card base. So we've only got one simple step left to do, and we're going to mount our heart iris folding to the front of the card. Now to do this, you'll need some foam sticky pads, just like these, and I'm going to place them around the circle, approximately 4 or 5 centimetres apart. Then peel the backs off and stick to the front of your circular card base, just like so. Once it's centre and in place, press down, and there you have it, your Heart Starburst iris folding card. All finished, ready for your next special occasion. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time for my next iris folding project. Keep an eye out.